this is Danny Walker from Oklahoma City. I took your indoor rowing class in Dallas at the J back in November, and hopefully I can show you I know a little bit about rowing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to disengage the monorail from the front end for easy storage, so you don't have to store your rower straight up and down where it could potentially fall and hurt somebody or damage the rower. I've got my handle stored away, my monitor arm is down, and in between the foot stretchers here there's a little locking cover here, which is very simple to undo the rower. Pull it up, slip the pieces out, and to go back together, this little notch right here in the end of the monorail goes right over the steel bar inside here, comes down, locks back together. Okay, now to get the rower set up to row, we can pull the handle down into the little bracket here to make it easier to grab when we get ready to row. Have the monitor arm over where it's right in front of you. You can see it clearly. You don't have to strain to look at it. It's just, you can stay focused straight ahead. We'll set the dampener up to 3. The foot stretchers, you want to make sure they are strapped across just above the toes, so you have some ability to flex your foot. You don't want them strapped up high on your foot, because when you come into the catch, right before you start the drive, your heels need to come up if you don't have really flexible ankles, so you don't want to lock your foot down. Okay, the first thing that we will be doing is the pick drill, which breaks the rowing stroke down into several pieces to get people used to the timing and technique of the rowing stroke with the arms, body, legs, legs, body, arms. So we will begin that at the finish. Your body slightly leaning back past perpendicular. You see the purple lines on the wall, those 11 and 1 o'clock, the middle one's 12 o'clock. Depending on which way your rower's setting, you want to be at 1 or 11. You don't want to go too far back. But we'll start this drill with just the arms only. And when we add another piece to it, I will count down and say on 2 we will change and add another piece to it, just to keep everything in sync and everything going. If I was running a class, I'd want everybody to stay together. So we'll begin with arms only. The arms pulling back like you're pulling right across the table and pushing her right back across. Your wrists are flat, your hands on the outside of the handles, staying smooth, touch and go. Touch and go. You don't want the handle going up and down, just straight ahead. Just not pulling with too much power now, just working on technique. Most people keep your thumbs right underneath the handle, hands relaxed. And in 2 strokes, I'll add the body in. 1, 2. Body comes over to the 11 o'clock position or the 1 o'clock position, depending on which way your rower is facing. And still pulling straight across, sliding across that table. And in 2, we'll add in quarter slide. We'll slightly raise up the knees. 1, 2. The knees do not go up until the hands go out. And 2, we'll add the half slide. 1, 2, and a little further. A little more legs involved. And 2, we'll go 3/4 slide. 1, Heel still on the foot stretchers, not raising up yet. And 2, we'll go to a full stroke. 1, 2. Legs going. Shins are going to vertical. Heels slightly coming off the foot stretchers. Hands going out first. That's the big drill. It's a good warm up, good thing to do over and over and over again, because you're never going to perfect your rowing stroke perfect. You can always get it better. So now we will go through the pieces of the rowing stroke, what we were doing, and which we started out on the big drill was the finish. Finish is here. If you're on a boat, that's when you just get through pulling the oar through the water. Finish. You don't want to be leaning back here. You don't want to be straight up and down. Just hands pulled into the sternum, right below the rib cage. Wrists flat. They stay flat. And that's the finish. And then you start the recovery. Hands are out, flat across. Come down. Recovery. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to shoot your hams. You don't do a hamstring curl and throw yourself down. Recovery is when the oar is coming out of the water and you're going back down. Come all the way down to where your shins are vertical. Your body's, you're not overreaching. You come down to the shins are vertical. Your heels are slightly raised. Arms straight. Then you reach the catch. That's where the oar is about to go back in the water. You're about to produce your power. You want to move the boat. You want to move the rower here. And to catch, you want your core braced. Everything's a little tighter now because you're about to explode off with your legs. And that will be the drive. The drive ends with the legs, finishes with the arms and body back over the body and arms. Excuse me. Okay. Now, I will go through some continuous rowing and kind of explain the stroke and how we're doing it. We're going down to the catch, finish. I want to make sure that at the finish, I'm not leaning so far back, I'm not reaching at the catch. And the recovery, I want to make sure that it's controlled, I'm not rushing it. Kind of a 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 ratio between the recovery and the drive. You can do some counting drills. Or you can 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Either way, 3-to-1, 2-to-1 ratio between the recovery and the drive. So good. Finish without too much lean back. And the recovery starts with the arms out. Don't want to raise the knees before the arms go over them. And keep everything smooth. You don't need to go 30 here, 35 strokes a minute. Make sure when you begin the drive phase, you're pushing off of those legs, not shooting the hips, or when you're down here into the catch, you don't want to slide forward and then push back. You want to keep it legs, body, arms, arms, body, legs. A lot of problems people will do some things that they'll have wrong in their rowing stroke lots of times is when they're rowing, they'll lift the knees first. They'll come up, lift the knees first. They're bending the knees before the handle's going out. And one of my clients that I have on the rower sometimes, I tell her quick hands, and that usually corrects what she's doing, because she gets the habit of sometimes locking them and bending down first. But I tell her quick hands, get them out, make sure you're not having to raise it. The chain should stay level the whole time. It doesn't need to be going up and down. You can even put a piece of tape on the guard up there to give you a little reminder that the chain should never go being raised above the knees. You don't want that. And when you're down here in the catch, about to start the drive, the first thing that needs to fire are the legs. You don't want to lose the leg power by pulling your arms first or pulling your back, because then you're not using the legs to initiate the drive and you're losing that power. That's what moves the boat, that's what moves the fan, that's what gives you your resistance. But